What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Unfashionably Late. I'm Rob.
And I'm Maddie. Welcome to episode 4. So, shoppers, in today's pod, we're going to cover what's coming up in 2026 for our two great loves. For Rob, it's of course his inside knowledge of all things pop music,
Yeah,
and for me, it's my musical theatre geekness. Oh, before we get into it, can I give you a piece of exciting news?
yeah, of
One of
course.
my besties, Daniel, is in New York at the moment, and I got
Oh,
a
Dav
message.
Cav.
Yes, yes. And I got
Yeah,
a message
okay.
from him today. He was seeing two strangers carry a cake across New York, and he messages me and says, I'm sitting in the same row as Patti LuPone and Brooke Shields.
Oh my God, that's
Yes,
awesome.
yes. So he didn't, Patty apparently bolted before the curtain call, probably to
Yeah.
avoid the crowds. He said, but she left her playbill on her seat, and I got it for you. So I have a playbill touched by Patti LuPone on
Oh,
its
that's
way back from New
awesome.
York soon. Yes.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. And I'll be coming down to Sydney soon, and I'm going to pull out all my playbook bills, and you'll be getting all the doubles from that too. So your collection's
Excellent.
going to explode
It
soon.
will. It will. So
All
what's
right.
going on?
Well, let's get into it because it's one of these moments. 2026 suddenly seems like pop culture's resetting itself, and to be honest, I'm not mad about it. Um, so as Maddie said, I'm going to focus on music this episode. Coming up in 2026, I love a bit of K-pop. Spent some time over in Japan doing the J-pop scene. We spoke about that in previous episodes, but obviously the big news at the moment is that the boys from BTS are back. They're back from military service, and it sent the global fandom into an absolute meltdown. Now, the streaming services are surging. The tour announcement was all over the news. It even had Aussies who don't know who they are inquiring as to when tickets go on sale because this is going to be huger than Taylor Swift's tour. And I'm not joking, these guys are massive. The timing couldn't be better as well because Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters just made a splash at the Golden Globes and won for Best Song. So, K-pop's not just a genre anymore. It's actually driving the music industry.
I've missed the boat on it. I know nothing about it. All I know is that the Demon Hunter thing is probably going to beat out the two new songs from Wicked for Good at the
Yeah,
Oscars.
yeah, I think it will because what I got from the Golden Globes, and it's always the case, because Golden Globes is voted by an international jury, they never really award financially successful films.
Hmm.
And Demon Hunters was a Netflix show, so it wasn't a theatrical smash hit. It didn't make a huge amount at the box office. It just got what it got from Netflix. It's going to make money on the next one, and apparently it's going to take about 4 years to animate it. So fans are going to be waiting a long time for that.
Oh, I'm going to have to
Um,
watch it. I'm going to have to watch it and see what the fuss is
it's
about.
it's it's very cute. Musically, it's great. And the acceptance speech from the artist who won it, she basically said every K-pop group in Korea turned her down, and she was totally rejected, and now she's the one with the Golden Globe. So
Yeah,
that
right.
that was
So,
that was
so,
pretty cool.
so the album for Golden that's due in March 2026.
Uh, no, that's for BTS.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I was just doing a comparison, because K-pop, it's, you know, a lot of people don't really know about it, but you've got your boy bands and your girl bands, and they're usually made up of more than five members. So it's all that, back in the day when you had the Spice Girls and Take That and everything, each
Club
each
7.
per yeah, S Club 7, Sugar Babes, Girls
Yeah.
Aloud, all of them, each of them had a different character. So you had your sporty, your spicy, all that kind of stuff. And it's the same with the boys. There's the handsome one and the bad boy and the lead singer and all that kind of stuff. So they're it's gonna really take over the country. The world's gonna go nuts for it. So we're gonna have another 12 months of just hearing about BTS ad nauseum. Albums locked for March 26, and the tour is confirmed, but we don't get the tour until February 2027. But because we're actually at the end of the tour, so it's going to be only in Sydney and Melbourne, and then Singapore, and then I think that's pretty much it for the end of the tour. So tickets are going to be in high demand because a lot of Asian fans are going to be coming down here to see them in their final shows.
Yeah, so it's going to be harder to get than a Taylor Swift ticket.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And look, it's going to turn into a financial juggernaut. So it's just showing that pop music, yet again, is the driving the world economy.
It really is. It
Yeah.
really is. Now, what about Charlie XCX?
Look, she's continuing to zig when everyone else is zagging. She's releasing a soundtrack of all things for the new Wuthering Heights film
I am a bit
adaptation.
excited. I am a bit excited
Yeah,
about that. Yeah.
yeah. But before anyone laughs, apparently the director specifically wanted Charlie's ability to mix the emotional detachment that she really has, but does it with that chaos kind of vibe. Um, the bit of rare intel. It isn't just a few songs; it's a fully created sonic work. It's kind of closer to what like a Trent Reznor does for a film, rather than a standard pop soundtrack. So this release is going to land just before or alongside the film's Australian run later this year. So that's kind of exciting. It's a big departure for her, but something that I think is going to give her a lot of credibility. And then Lana Del Rey is the next one on my list, and she's entering her yeehaw era.
Oh, aren't we all? Aren't we all?
She's genuinely releasing a country album. My sources have whispered that the title is actually Stove, which kind of sounds unhinged, but it's unhinged enough to be true. But take that with a grain of salt because the folks that I know that work with Lana and everything, they're very cagey about what's actually going on. But what is real is the timeline. It's the first half of this year, so you know, assuming nothing goes haywire, which with Lana Del Rey's a possibility, um, it's yeah, it's definitely going to be first half of this year. The rare detail here is that she's reportedly been recording in Nashville with legacy session musicians, so not pop country hit makers. So it suggests that the album's going to be more closer to uh, Dolly meets Lana rather than pop radio stuff.
Okay, and look, I'm never mad when artists do a country album and they record it in Nashville. I mean, Kylie very
Yeah.
famously recorded Golden, which, in my humble opinion, is
Oh,
her
it's a
most
great album.
underrated album. I love Golden.
Yeah.
But that was in Nashville, and I mean, even going back with a lot of the albums that other people have done in Nashville, some great stuff comes. It's a great music town.
Yeah. Look, it's also a place where a lot of Aussies go to record music because it's that mix between pop rock and country, and that lands really well with Australian markets. So there will be a few people. Some ex-Idol contestants are currently over there recording as well from Australia. So 2026 is going to see some releases from them, but we'll cover them down the track. So make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay connected with the Unfashionably Late podcast.
And you can be unfashionably late with us.
Yeah, exactly. We're actually on time for this one recording. It's a very rare thing.
It really is. And probably close enough to even say the day that we're recording is Dolly Parton's birthday.
Yay! Oh,
Yeah,
happy
so happy
birthday,
birthday,
Dolly.
Dolly.
Yeah.
Now, Robin.
Yeah. Oh, look, Robin. I love Robin. She's back again. Literally, this is going to be her first album since 2018 when
Wow.
I interviewed her back then for Pop Republic TV. Yes, I'm still emotionally recovering from that interview because she is just insane, insanely genius, insanely fabulous, insane. Funnily enough, the album is called Existential. It feels extremely on brand for Robin, and it's slated for a March release. Now, word is the label's deliberately avoiding a February drop because they want to kind of sidestep all the Grammy noise because people are going to be paying attention to who's winning the Grammys. So expect it after Mardi Gras. But everyone breathe. Let the rumor mills begin because Party is still announcing what's happening, that they're moving out of the horde and into the show ring, that it's a
Show ring,
different
yeah.
different finishing times, all that kind of stuff. You can actually, we'll pop the link in the description box on YouTube below, because it's literally going to go on sale at the last minute. It's going to be a very different reimagined party, but from what I've heard, lots of different promoters are doing different spaces. So the dome is going to be extra dirty. I think Heapsgay is doing something. A women's party promoter is doing another area. So it's going to be very community oriented, which I think is it's probably the refresh that the party needed.
Yeah, and more of a kind of a festival vibe too.
Yeah,
And my
yeah,
understanding is that the parade, because it goes from 8 till 3, right? So the party
yes.
now goes from 8 p.m. till 3 a.m. So no more rolling out of the Horton at 9 a.m., putting on your dark sunnies and Ubering at home.
Yeah, but
It's
didn't we say
literally,
that in the last episode that gentlemen of a certain age don't make it past three
we
anyway?
can't make it past 3 a.m. God, no. But yeah, more of that festival kind of vibe, I think. So that's going to be good.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I know our next person on the list, I know is one of your
Oh,
favorites.
I just want to do one more thing about Robin for our European listeners,
Mhm.
because I've well, little birdie's told me that she's actually doing sideshows to test the new album,
Okay.
but she's doing them in really small European clubs under a pseudonym. So very under the radar. Keep your eyes peeled if you're a pop music fan, because these shows are going to be ones you don't want to miss. Very iconic, and it's just something very typical Robin. So make sure you do your research. Go out there, dig around, and go to as many gigs as you can if you're in Europe.
And
But
no doubt soon to be featured on a Lip Sync for Your Life
yeah, oh, definitely.
on Drag Race, one of the
She'd
Drag
make an
Race
amazing
shows.
judge too.
She's been on.
Oh, has she?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
I can't
God, I
remember
missed
which
that
franchise.
one.
I can't remember which one it was, but she has been a judge.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wanna then talk about another icon that is teasing a lot. Madonna. Madonna. Okay, so heavily whispered, the spiritual sequel to Confessions on a Dance Floor actually appears to be real. The catch is the timing. After that huge, exhausting tour that she did with Bob the Drag Queen, I didn't know Bob actually co-produced part of the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's insane that he was part of the creative team that actually put the show together. So that's incredible. But no one knows when she's going to surface with it, but it is being worked on. What's not been widely reported is that several tracks were actually finished prior to that tour even starting. So it's not this rush job nostalgia grab for money kind of thing. She's putting it together to basically do the sequel to Confessions on a Dance Floor. So expect disco and house and something deeply personal for Madonna, which goes beneath the beats and beneath the Botox.
Can I make a very controversial statement?
Of course you can.
I can't stand Madonna.
Oh, really?
Oh, look, the early stuff is okay. I just think she's trashy. I've never. I mean, I get it that she's a big international pop phenomenon. She's legendary, blah, blah, blah. I just don't care for her.
Yeah, I did Rebel Heart, did the two tours, two shows in Sydney. Maxi Shield got up on stage, and that was an
The
iconic
unapologetic
moment.
bitch, yes, it
Yeah,
was.
and I think the other person in Sydney was the actress from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that was great for Maxine.
Mm.
Um, then I've also seen Madonna in Madison Square Garden. We were over there filming it for Pop Republic TV, which was aired on CBS Interactive, and I was on the floor. There was myself, my partner at the time, and then two rows in front of us was Chelsea Clinton. So Chelsea's getting around.
Mm.
And that was the Hard Candy tour, and that was amazing. But it was also that thing of like you're in Madison Square Garden seeing Madonna, like New York, New York, New York, like through and through.
Yeah, yeah.
Now finally for me, my girl Hilary Duff is finally releasing music, and as of today's date, Dolly's birthday, Hilary last night appeared in London, and launched it off, performed a couple of tracks at this fan event. Still got it. Um, it's it's an album called Luck dot 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 or something. It's very Hillary coded, and it's she's dedicated it to the LGBTQI plus community, QIA plus community. It's the first time she's actually had full creative input since her Hollywood record days. So the last time she released an album, I was on tour with her. Mate of mine, Brett, styled her. I'll pop up a picture now. Both of us, you can pick who had the floppier hair. Was it me or Hillary? We had an absolute ball. I remember getting in trouble off of her mum because we kept her out too late. Didn't answer her phone. So it was a great tour, and she was fabulous. And it was around the same time as Jesse McCartney was big in the charts, and he was out here at the same time. Cut to me being in New York, and Hillary's there. We went to a taping of SNL, Saturday Night Live. It was Adele's debut performance in America, and I was sitting next to America Ferrera, Ugly Betty, in the audience. And then we were back in the green room, and Jesse McCartney's there, and it was just one of those bizarre moments of like every person I'd ever interviewed in the past 12 months suddenly sitting in the same room. But I'm so glad that Hillary's back. She's still got it, still a pop princess. She's basically America's Kylie.
Yeah, she's been a bit quiet lately in the music front, hasn't she? Up until
Yeah.
but she has been doing some great TV work. She
Oh, the
was with
TV work with Younger
with
was
Younger, which was
yeah.
fabulous. Sutton Foster,
And
and
Scott
basically,
Herman. Oh, Mariska Hargitay's husband. Oh my God, he's so handsome. Oh.
yeah, and of course, Miriam Shaw, who was the original Yitzhak in the off-Broadway production of Hedwig, playing the main
Yes.
Anatar.
Yeah, yeah,
Anything
yeah.
Miriam Shaw does, I'm totally on board for as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. She's awesome.
Did a series with Kristen Chenoweth in the early noughties called GCB, Good Christian
Good
Bitch,
Christian
which was
bitches.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Um,
awesome.
Track that down if you want just it's only about 6 or 7 eps.
Yep.
And I think it was too clever for US audiences at the time.
Yep.
But it was full of
It was
zingers.
kind of along the lines of Best in Show and that kind of humor. You know,
Yeah,
it was good for its time, and it's still a great watch. So yeah,
yeah.
go check it out.
All right, a
But
quick bonus before we wrap up on music.
yeah,
Agnes has got a new album dropping as well. So former Mardi Gras
yes,
headliner, criminally underrated.
yeah,
So her new album, Beautiful Madness, will drop probably by the time this goes live. It will have dropped to January 23. So expect sleek Scandinavian pop with a fair bit of emotional heft. And I think this one's already shaping up to be a bit of a sleeper hit, particularly in the dance charts and around the clubs.
yeah. Because Agnes was it Release Me,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
single? Yeah,
Yeah.
she had two or three hits that pretty much everyone will know. You might not know it's Agnes, but you'll know the song. She's definitely one to look out for. And any fan of ABBA, any fan of dance, any fan of pop, it's a meld of everything, and it's all that Scandinavian goodness. So yeah, so glad that she's bringing stuff out this week. It means that we've got something to listen to over summer.
Yeah.
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 Oh, well, that's the music wrap up. Look, there are a lot of male artists as well. I'm still doing, I'm actually researching a piece on LGBTQ community male singers because there's actually a bit of a bias towards our divas.
Mm.
You'll notice a lot of DJs and stuff around town, they don't really play a lot of male vocals. It's all campy girly, female singers. And I'm on a mission to start integrating and getting awareness for our male talent because we've got some great performers out in the community, especially in Australia. So down the track, we'll do a little bit of a expose on who to look out for.
Well, look, the drag kings need some material too, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And look, there's nothing better than being in the dance floor and then suddenly having like you've got your Darren Hayes and stuff who can do the falsettos and that, but I love a good guttural male dance track. Like
Oh, you're all
it's
right.
very
Orville
sexy.
Peck. Yes.
Orville Peck and Kylie remix. There we go.
There you go.
All righty. So, look, if that's the way that 2026 is going to start, buckle up because pop is thriving, evolving, and it's absolutely refusing to behave, and I'm here for every second of it. So, what are you here for,
Fabulous.
Mads?
Well, I mean, I'm a theatre gal through and through. So
Oh yeah.
it's some great stuff coming up both in Australia and overseas this year. Um, let's start in Sydney with what's on right now, and it's got a couple of weeks left to run. It's a very limited run. The Stephen Sondheim Review putting it together, which is
Oh
playing
yes.
in the Foundry Theatre at the Star. Now, I've not seen anything. This is a relatively new performance space. It
Is
basically
it
was
this?
the basement or a storeroom underneath the Lyric Theatre that they've turned
Oh
into a more intimate performance space. So it's only about a 250 seat theatre, I'd say.
wow, that's
Um,
great though.
yeah, but opening night was a couple of weeks ago. I've reviewed it. It's on guide2go.com. We'll pop the link up.
Yeah.
Um, legends of Australian musical theatre, Caroline O'Connor, who I first
Mm.
saw in the late 90s as Velma in Chicago and was amazing. She's just come back from playing. She had one of the roles in Anastasia on Broadway for a lot of years. Has just come back from playing Dolly Levi in Hello Dolly at the Lido in Paris. An
Oh wow.
absolute master of her craft,
Yeah.
playing opposite Michael Cormick, who was the original Beast in Beauty and the Beast in the Australian
Yes.
production. And I remember him as Hot Pharaoh from the production Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat in the late 90s as well.
Yeah, like
And
every event that we used to go to, he always used to try and pick up my ex-partner.
I think he's probably still trying to pick up twinks all over the world. But anyway, yeah, he's great as well. They're absolute masters of their craft with some fantastic young talent as well.
Yeah.
Steph Como, Nigel Huckle, and Bert LeBont is in it as well. So absolutely amazing. If you're a
Wow.
fan of Sondheim, pop along. It's set at an elegant dinner party and it starts to unravel.
Yeah,
Um,
the photography that from that production that we've got up on we've got a gallery along with Maddie's review on guide2go.com. The staging was beautiful.
it was
Yeah.
absolutely stunning. And look, what I didn't put in the review, but I couldn't help thinking at the time, when I was in New York last, I did see Here We Are, which was Sondheim's final musical written before he died.
Hmm.
Um, Set at a dinner party that unravels, that people can't leave, but it was an absolute mess of a show. Honestly, it was
Yeah.
one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life. And I thought, no wonder it tanked. Um, but then you look at the review putting it together, which is the collection of songs strung together with a very loose plot, works really, really well.
Yeah.
So go and see that. It's definitely worth it. Big musicals are coming, though. We've got the
Hmm.
mega musicals hitting Australia this year as well. So Lion King is doing a return season,
Yeah.
and they've announced the cast of that. That's doing a tour. Phantom of the Opera is Opera Australia's Handa Opera on the Harbour this year.
Yes.
So at Fleet Steps. With the floating pontoon in the harbour.
Are they
Hope no
doing
one
an
falls in. There's been shark
angled?
attacks in Sydney Harbour this week.
Oh yeah, true. Are they doing an angled stage again?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah, yeah. A rake stage again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They did the same thing last year with Guys and Dolls, which is fine until it rains,
Yeah.
uh, because
It's a slippery
it is
dip.
very, very slippery. And I hope we don't get the rain that we had the last time. A friend of mine was playing in the pit, and I remember seeing footage of the orchestra pit basically flooding halfway through. So Act Two, of course, opens with Masquerade. Um, Phantom walks down the stairs in a big sort of skull mask and a big sort of like over the top pirate type outfit, and the water is it's like a waterfall running off his hat. I remember seeing the
Oh
images.
wow.
So let's hope for some good weather, because when the weather is good, Handa's Opera on the Harbour is the most stunning night imaginable
Yeah.
in the Emerald City. So that is coming. Anastasia is coming to Sydney, currently playing a season in Melbourne, starring Georgina Hopson from Titanic. She played Rose
Hmm.
in Titanic, also with Nancy Hayes and Rhonda Burchmore.
Oh, Rhonda's in it.
Reviews have been mixed.
Okay.
Um, Rhonda's in it, yeah, playing
Yeah.
the role that Caroline O'Connor played on Broadway.
Oh
Um,
wow. Okay.
but reviews have been mixed. I think it's because the reviewers didn't really know what they were going to. A musical about the missing Romanov daughter when everyone pretty much gets killed is not going to be, an all-up fun tale
Yeah.
about Anastasia and her
It's
life.
not
She might or might not be a princess.
yeah.
But it's got a
It's
couple
not
of
back to
great
the
songs.
Yeah, it's not Back to the Future or Shucked or
No,
something like that.
no, no.
It's a
But
heavier
look,
piece.
but Georgina is absolutely stunning in the role. I can't wait for the Sydney production. Brisbane, up your way. You are getting
Yes,
Beetlejuice with
yes,
Andy
we are.
Carl.
And
Um,
it's probably going to be the only opportunity
it will.
Australians can see it. So fly
Yeah,
up
I
and
might have to come. I
check it
might
out.
have to fly up and see it up there because I mean I also do love Andy Carl.
Yes.
Alan loves Andy Carl as well, FYI. We saw him in Groundhog Day in Melbourne a couple
Okay.
of years ago. So Beetlejuice, written of course by Eddie Perfect. Um, I saw it on Broadway very famously. It lost its Broadway theatre. It got shuttered. It found another theatre. It reopened. It was supposed to be playing a run in Singapore, which got cancelled and pulled at the
Mhm.
last minute. But Brisbane, as far as we know, is still going ahead. One of the most clever musicals. When I saw it, I think I got rush tickets to it. Didn't really know what to expect the year that I saw it in New York, and it was the surprise hit of my season in New York that year.
Oh, great.
Absolutely loved it. Thoroughly entertaining. Definitely worthwhile seeing. Definitely worthwhile going to Brisbane to see Beetlejuice. Um, we're seeing a return season of six as well,
Yes.
and the pro shot is either in theatres or coming in theatres really soon with the original London cast. But we are getting a return season of six in Australia, which is good, clean fun. And something also a little bit out there. Sydney Theatre Company is doing an original musical. They're doing a John Farnham musical
Oh,
this
yeah.
year about John Farnham's life called Whispering Jack.
Oh, well,
Um, so
I swore it would have been
that will
called
be
You're the
coming as
Voice.
well. STC. Yeah, look, STC have a history of doing some really surprising things in the musical theatre space. I remember
Mm.
in probably again in the late 90s, they did the Australian premiere of Into the Woods, but it wasn't a carbon copy production from Broadway. It was a totally original
Oh,
Australian
wow.
production with Geraldine Turner and Tony Sheldon as the baker's wife and the baker.
Oh,
You had
wow.
Philip Quast as the wolf. You had Sharon Millership as Red Riding Hood. It was an amazing cast and an absolutely
Yeah.
stunning production. They also STC also premiered Muriel's Wedding, the musical, written by Kate Miller-Heideke as well, which has since gone on to do a tour and has now got the amateur rights are available in Australia. It's just finished a London run as well. So don't
Yeah.
write off Whispering Jack, even if you're not a fan of Farnsey, because I think it's gonna be very surprising once STC gets its hands on it. So that's some of the big stuff that's coming. If you want some smaller stuff, think about looking at places like the Hayes Theatre in Potts Point in Sydney. They've got a great 2026 season. Smaller stuff, 150-seat theatre. You're really close to the action. So they're
Mm.
doing Head Over Heels, which is the Go-Go's musical with a lot
Oh,
of Belinda
nice.
Carlisle material. They're doing Gutenberg the musical, which is a two-hander
The one
with
Josh
Stephen
Gad did.
Anderson, Josh Gad, and Andrew Reynolds, which I
Andrew
saw on
Reynolds, yeah.
Broadway.
Yeah.
So it's about the guys who invented the printing press that printed the first Bible. It's very, very funny. Stephen Anderson, who was Ruth in Titanic, and Ryan Gonzalez, who was in the Heights, playing the two parts in it. That will be worth seeing. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is coming as well. House of Rot. Now, this is one I'm really excited about. This is a retelling of Grey Gardens with Paul
Ooh.
Capsis and Adam Noviello.
I love
So Paul
Paul.
Capsis. Paul is amazing. Adam
Yeah.
Noviello is brilliant. They were Yitzhak in the most recent production of Hedwig that we got in Australia as well.
Yeah.
An amazing performer, definitely worthwhile seeing. They're also doing Addams Family, the musical, at the Hayes, and How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying as part of their neglected musical series. So for some
Wow.
smaller stuff, you can't go past the Hayes. They do some great, great theatre.
Yeah.
Um, Also, to the new theatre at the Newtown has some great quality, small scale stuff, and they're opening their 26th season. They always do something in conjunction with the Mardi Gras Festival.
Yes.
Again, this year's Mardi Gras production is directed by Patrick Kennedy, who is also the CEO of Sydney Fringe, and it's called Perfect Arrangement, and that's about the lavender scare in 1950s America. So that will
All
be
right.
a good one to go and see as part of the Mardi Gras Festival as well.
Awesome.
Um, Heading over to NYC, to the Broadway, the reworked production of Cats called Cats the Jellicle Ball, which is set in the New York ballroom scene, is making its Broadway debut. It played a season off Broadway last year.
Was it a
To
hit?
It was a huge hit.
Okay.
It was a huge hit.
Doesn't
It was
sound like it would fit, but okay.
Look, it's kind of like when Jamie Lloyd did Sunset Boulevard, and
Right.
everyone said this is never going to work, and it was a huge hit, and it won the
Yeah.
Culture Singer a Tony and an Olivier. So
Oh,
similar.
I'm going to interrupt you there because have you seen the actor on actor interview between Nicole and Jonathan Groff?
Yes, I have. I have. Of course, I have. I didn't really
My
pay much attention
God.
to Nicole. I was too busy drooling over Jonathan Groff.
But
We'll
I,
pop,
I,
we'll
I
pop
love
up my
that.
photo. Let's pop up my photo of me with Jay Groff.
All right.
The night that I met him outside his production of
Little
Little
Shop.
Shop of Horrors. Yeah.
Look, I love them both, but boy, they were really kissing each other's asses in that interview.
Yeah, yeah. But look, the Jellicle Ball, a total reworking and repositioning of cats, and I think it
Okay.
actually works really, really well. We're getting a revival of the Rocky Horror Show, which is playing at Studio 54.
I love
Um,
that venue. I saw Sondheim on Sondheim there with Vanessa Williams, and I was so close that I could see the lace front of a wig.
I saw Michelle Williams and was it NPH as the MC in the production of Cabaret.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
might have been NPH. I'll have to find out who it is and let you know. But that was amazing. It is a great venue, and if you're in New York, don't rule out going to 54 Below. So 54
Yes.
Below is the cabaret bar, the cabaret room underneath that
Yeah.
used to be the VIP room. So I was literally, I saw Countess Luann there last a couple of Christmases ago doing her Christmas with the Countess thing,
Yeah.
which she's terrible, but it was so entertaining.
There's
Um,
the musical theatre kids go and basically you can see them on YouTube. They'll all rock up and they'll just sing a song. They get put up on YouTube, and it's a good promotion for them to get cast in shows. But people like Jeremy Jordan go along and sing it, and
well, that's where Jeremy really got his big, he got big
yeah,
exposure because his
he did the
version
Celine
of It's All
Dion.
Coming Back to Me Now went
Yeah, oh,
viral.
so
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, so good.
Um, so yeah, 54 Below is a great venue, and when I've been there a couple of times, and literally I'm thinking I'm sitting in the room where Liza Minnelli did cocaine. Um,
And you've only
so
said that 6 times in your life.
exactly. Um, Titanic,
Yep.
the very, very successful off-Broadway hit that has now played pretty much all over the world,
Yeah.
including a very wonderful 9 months in Sydney, is finally making its Broadway bow with an all-star cast with Marla
Hmm.
Mindell as Celine, but Deborah Cox as the
I
unsinkable
know.
Molly Brown, Jim
Oh,
Parsons as Ruth, Rose's mother, and Frankie
yep.
Grande, Ari's brother,
Yep.
um, doing the
It's
part of Victor Garber.
it's
Um,
it's worth risking the border control to get into the States to go see that.
Absolutely is. Beaches, the musical, is finally making a Broadway bow next year or this year as well.
Oh,
One to
wouldn't it be
watch.
awesome if Mayim Bialik got to do something in it?
There's actually Jessica Voska's doing it.
Oh,
So
okay,
keep an eye
great.
out. She was one of the Broadway alphabets.
Oh,
Lost Boys with Shoshana Bean as well is opening. Um,
okay.
and Schmigadoon, so the
Oh,
Broadway version of the
yes.
television series is going to be making a Broadway bow as
Is
well.
is Cecily Strong going to be in it?
I haven't seen the cast. I don't know that they've
Okay.
announced the cast yet.
Oh,
Um,
okay. We definitely got to keep an eye on that one because Schmigadoon on Apple TV Plus is just phenomenal.
yeah, yeah.
Phenomenal.
I mean, anything with Kristen in it, I'm on
Yeah,
board for.
yeah.
So look, lots happening in NYC. I think all of these. I don't know if they're going to be in the running for the Tonys. Um, I think they might all be a little bit too late for the Tonys. There's only about four new musicals on Broadway this year.
Yeah.
And word on the street from Cav at the moment, because he's seen all of them this week, is he thinks that Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York is gonna basically
Sweep
sweep
it.
the Tonys. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's move over to the West End.
Yay.
The big buzz on West End at the moment, strangely enough, is Paddington the musical.
Yes. I honestly, I've seen some clips. I've seen opening night. Again, I'm going to plug Mickey J Theatre because he covers the West End incredibly. Every single show, every single critique, he's just phenomenal. But just seeing that, I don't know if it's an actor or an animatronic or the Paddington itself, Paddington
Yeah, yeah.
Bear, it's brilliant. The emotion that comes out of that bear suit. I
Yeah,
don't know
live
how they're doing it.
Puppets in Lion King be damned. Go see
I
Paddington if you're on the West End.
yeah.
Um, Also coming up on the West End, they've made the announcement really, really early. It's not going to be until the 27th season. Is a revival of Sunday in the Park with George with Jonathan Bailey and
Ari.
Ariana Grande. So
Yeah.
I dare say I might be making a bit of a trip to the West End that year to see the
Yeah, I
show.
think so. But I think you're probably going to have to buy tickets next week.
I think so as well. Yeah. And the most peculiar announcement that I've seen in the West End. And look, the West End does have a reputation of doing some pretty out there, weird, kind of wacky, offbeat kind of things in the musical theatre world. But Starlight Express has announced a world tour after it finishes its London run. So they did a revamp of it. The
And
show
but
never made sense. It's basically Cats but with trains. Um, it makes no sense whatsoever. It's on roller skates. The original production in the 80s was an infamous flop everywhere it played, except for a town in Germany where it's run for 20 something
yes.
years. Um,
But
I know
apparently
you
the West End version, the current run, they totally revamped the venue. So
yeah,
the staging's totally different. So that's apparently what's been the appeal for people is to go and actually see this spectacle. It's not necessarily the musical itself. Funnily enough, Andrew Lloyd Webber's stuff, apart from Sunset Boulevard, not much of his other stuff has really appealed to me personally. Um, I'm not a fan of the cadence and the melodic structure that he uses on most things. But Starlight Express is just a visual spectacular.
yeah. It's
So
just it's a world tour.
I don't know how they're going to tour it because logistically that space that they created is so hard to bump in and bump out.
Yeah,
It will cost a fortune.
and that was the problem with the original tour. Because remember, originally in the 80s when it premiered, it was performed in tents,
Yeah.
like big tops. So when it came to Australia, it came in the rainy season, which meant that three-quarters of the shows had to be cancelled because it wasn't safe. Because the
Yeah.
electricals were flooding, it wasn't safe for them to roller skate around on with all the lights and the tech. So it'd be interesting to see what that happens. But that was a bit weird, I thought.
Yeah, I think the West End can play around with lot more productions than what America does and what Australia does because they have such a strong regional theatre scene. You get good productions that tour the UK and they can make a lot of money just by doing regional theatres, and it's built for that. So the West End is kind of like just the cherry on the top of the theatre
Yeah.
scene in the UK. So,
But
but
look,
that's really cool.
lots happening theatrically around the world. Do you want to do some quick wrap up, some quick little snappy one-line
Yeah,
what's happening?
some queer stuff.
Some
Let's do
queer
some queer
shit.
stuff. Yeah, queer shit. Look, obviously there's the standard stuff that happens each year. We've got World Pride in Amsterdam, I think this year. That's
That'll
going to
be
be
wild.
huge. Another key event that everybody should go to at least once in their life is the Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS Broadway Bears show. Phenomenal. Been to it multiple times. Love it. Always has many celebrity guests, and they produce individual shows, and it's this huge fundraiser. Brilliant thing to see. If you also go to a Broadway show and they do a red bucket collection, make sure you give some money because that goes to Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. Look, there are a lot of events that go on, and what we would like to do is do a call out to everybody across the world. If you're listening, if you want to get your event listed on guide2gay.com, go onto the website, put in a submission because we do have a What's On guide. It's a great central place for everything queer that you can go and, check out what's on in your local area. So it's all free. Um,
Excellent.
Look, Universal Orlando, RuPaul is actually going to be headlining at Universal Theme Park. Can you believe it? She's doing a DJ set for their Mardi Gras, which
Is
is
she
more.
alive?
Yeah, she is. She is. Or it's
Or
Basil
is she a
Brush style
hologram?
puppet.
Or is she a hologram?
Or hollow bones.
Was she ever in the same room as the Queens from Down Under? I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. Let's ask Molly Poppins.
Yeah.
I caught up with Molly on the weekend.
Oh, great.
We're gonna get her on the pod and
Excellent.
do a deep dive about her experience on Drag Race Down Under.
Okay, I'll get back to RuPaul in a second, but Drag Race Down Under is going to be airing on Stan. It's To let everybody know, it's no longer a Warner Brothers production. It's not being filmed in New Zealand. It's actually being filmed Down Under versus the World is being filmed in Portugal.
That's random.
Yeah, well, it's because
Is it easy to get visas?
work visas,
Yeah, right.
staging, sound stages, crew, all that kind of stuff. World of Wonder is actually producing it. So
Okay.
Michelle Visage and World of Wonder are stepping up to the plate and they're producing it themselves. So there's no, apart from Stan, there is no other third party production company involved.
I
So,
was not mad at Michelle Visage. I think
mm,
she was a great host of Down Under when she took
yeah.
that over.
And Lazy Susan, who's last season's winner, is now
Yeah.
our full time judge, along with Reese Nicholson, who is, I think, currently touring Canada. So if you're in Canada, go get tickets. Reese is brilliantly funny.
We love Reese.
Yeah,
Newcastle boy. Newcastle
Newcastle
boy.
boy. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he loves ragging on Newcastle too. But back to RuPaul appearing at the Universal Studios theme park Mardi Gras events alongside other acts including Joey Fatone and AJ McLean from NSYNC, BB Rexa, and even the Bare Naked Ladies. So if you're going to theme parks in Florida, and dodging all the red cap MAGA people, you can go see RuPaul.
Of course, Sydney Mardi Gras events are about to
Yeah.
kick off. A couple of highlights. Obviously, Fair Day on the 15th of Feb is going to be
Yes.
huge. Again, it always is. Um, One of my personal favourite events is the Kaftana Pool Party. And this year, DJ Dan Murphy is doing the music and production
He's
for that.
producing that one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's not like the sexy pool party with all the body beautifuls. Everyone turns up looking absolutely ridiculous in caftans and has a great time.
Yeah, it's fun.
So it's a good time. It's one of my favorite events. My other favorite Mardi Gras event that's been happening for the last couple of years is the Bar Kylie Love Boat Party. Um,
Yes.
so that's on the Thursday before Mardi Gras, and that's DJ Argonaut from Melbourne who does the Bar Kylie events all over the country. So
Okay.
that's on the 26th of Feb. Sissy Ball on the 27th of Feb, and then of course the Parade of the Party on the 28th.
Yes.
Uh,
So the parade starts at 5 p.m. and technically goes till 11, but most floats are usually through. Party will be from 8 p.m. till 3 a.m. I think it's mardigras party.com.au. We'll put the link below anyway because there is actually a separate website if you're interested in going to party for pre-sales and further information as they release the lineup. It's going to be a last minute thing, but I think it's going to be worthwhile. We spoke about Drag Race versus the world. That's gonna be a huge thing in 2026. I, funnily enough, think it's going to be interesting to see what the viewership's like in Australia because we have an under 16 social media ban now. It's the law that under 16s are not allowed to access social media platforms. A lot still do,
they're
but
getting around it. My
they're gonna,
nephew's sorted. He's on
yeah.
it. They've
But
worked out ways and means.
will it make a difference to the way drag race is perceived? Because we're not going to have this 14 to 16-year-old girly fan base that thinks they know everything about drag without learning the history. And, funnily enough, I'd like to see the ban implemented in America just so we could get people commenting on drag race that actually know stuff. So anyway, Drag Race, Drag Race. A movie that was at film festivals all last year called A Friend of Dorothy, which stars Miriam Margolyes and Stephen Fry, has just been dropped on Disney Plus. It's about Miriam's character, who is a lonely widow who befriends a neighbor boy, and basically it's depicting this like poignant bond over loneliness. But it's a beautiful short dark comedy drama. And I love Miriam. Got to work with her this past year for work, and Stephen Fry is one of my all-time idols. So go check that out. That's queer history in the making. And then the Grammys are going to premiere on Stan, which is the network that does Drag Race in Australia, on February 2nd in Australia. So guests or awards will be Kendrick Lamar, Circuit, Jack Antonoff, Lady Gaga, Bad Bunny, Leon Thomas, the usual suspects like Sabrina Carpenter, etc. So Grammy Awards is going to be pretty gay this year.
Excellent. And of course, Gaga has just filmed the Mayhem Requiem event for is it Spotify?
Oh, yeah,
Or
I'm
was it
not
Apple
sure.
Music? It was a
One
special
of the two.
recording. Apparently, people had their phones confiscated when they went into the auditorium for it to be filmed. It was a
Okay.
very gothic requiem for Mayhem, and she apparently performed the whole concert in a veil.
Oh, wow.
So watch for that dropping somewhere soon.
Fantastic. Well, look, 2026 is, as I said, it's going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for us. We've got lots of different topics and things to talk about coming up. We've got some guests. We've got whatever the hell we want to do. It's going to be unfashionably cool and unfashionably late.
Exactly. And look, it's going to be a fabulous year.
Lovely. Well, cheers to that. And we will see you on the next one. Hit that notification bell, hit the subscribe because it actually will help us a lot. And next episode, we'll have some news in regards to other podcast formats that you might be keen on. So I'll leave you with that little teaser.
See you next time.
Bye.
The Unfashionably Late podcast is produced by Rob Manser and Damian Barrett. You can join us on our socials or visit our website at unfashionablylatepodcast.com.